Welcome to the Unbounded podcast, where we explore the intersection of technology, human rights, and freedom. Today's guest is one of the quiet builders behind some of the most important privacy tools. PavelTheCoder, or Pavel, or Dojo Coder, isn't just a developer. He's been on the front lines of the fight for Bitcoin privacy for a decade, helping shape projects like Samourai Wallet and RoninDojo. In this episode, he shares his personal journey, the cypherpunk values that drive him, and the real risk developers now face as governments crack down on privacy tech. He also gives us an important update on RoninDojo, where the project stands today, and what's next. But more than anything, this is a story of resilience and refusing to back down when walking away could have been safer. If you believe in the fight to build freely and in Bitcoin as more than just an investment, this one's for you. Let's get into it. Pavel, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Super excited to have you. Been really looking forward to this show. I've been following your work for quite a while now, so really excited to have you. Thank you for joining. Let's just jump right into this. You've been on the front lines of building privacy tools. I think you go back to 2017, contributed to some of the most important Bitcoin-focused privacy projects out there, from Samourai Wallet, Dojo, RoninDojo. What first pulled you into the world of cypherpunk tools, privacy, and building for digital freedom?
Well, I got introduced to Bitcoin in 2015, I guess 10 years ago, when I started going into this place in Prague, which was called Polis, which basically means parallel society. And in this place, there was a cafe, and they only accepted Bitcoin. No cash, no credit card started. They were only accepting Bitcoin. Of course, if you wanted something, they had Bitcoin ATM, so you could exchange your cash money for Bitcoins. But you had to, download some Bitcoin wallet or get a paper wallet at the time. And then you had to pay with it. And so I got immediately, when I started using Bitcoin, it was like everyday use. I didn't know almost nothing about Bitcoin at the time, but I was already a software developer. So this thing seemed amazing to me. And I was already like libertarian. I've seen this as a great tool for freedom, for anyone that wants to get rid of the shackles of the state and use something that's not controlled by the state. I wasn't particularly interested in Bitcoin as an investment. So for me, it never was about like getting more rich and pumping bags. For me, it was always about this interesting digital money technology. And from that, since I was already a programmer, I began to be interested in maybe building something around Bitcoin.
So the two projects that you've been intimately involved with is Samourai Wallet and RoninDojo over the years. Can you tell us a little bit about those projects?
Right. So this goes back to starting, I guess it was 2019. It goes mostly back to when Whirlpool was released by Samourai Wallet. By that time, Samourai Wallet has already existed for years, but it was still in, I guess, kind of early development, because at that time you wouldn't be able to connect Samourai Wallet to your own Bitcoin node. And when Samourai Wallet introduced Whirlpool, one prerequisite for doing that was that people need to be able to connect to their own Bitcoin full node, so they can still have privacy and not rely on the central Samourai database and server. So that's why they released Dojo as open source, so people could connect Dojo to their Bitcoin core and connect their Samourai Wallet to their own Dojo and not rely on any third party, basically.
Right. What originally inspired you to contribute to these two projects, and how did you end up becoming a key contributor?
Yeah, since I was so obsessed with Bitcoin and building around it, I started using Samourai. I wanted to contribute in some way because I loved the software and the ethos. But the whole software stack of Samourai Wallet was written in Java. And I'm not really proficient in that programming language, so there was no way for me to contribute anything meaningful. But when they released Dojo, that's written in JavaScript, and even though the names are similar, it's completely different language. But I am a JavaScript programmer, so that allowed me to make great new features and some fixes. And as in open source software, it goes to offer help. So that's how I got into getting myself into working with Dojo. And for RoninDojo, the guys from RoninDojo were doing really amazing work. And when it started, it was a really great project. And they wanted to take it a step further and offer a proper web-based UI so that you could just, in your web browser, open a page and manage everything you needed with a few simple clicks. So that's how I got connected with RoninDojo guys.
And the rest is history, Pavel.
Yeah.
The rest is history. Well, it's been an amazing journey for you. You once said that the Samourai founders or the team are quote unquote true cypherpunks. What did you mean by that? And why did that hit home for you?
I mean, you don't have to go far, but only read the cypherpunk manifesto, which clearly says cypherpunks write code, and they write code that defends privacy. They don't care if someone doesn't like their code, and they know that their software can't be destroyed. I mean, that's what Samourai fellas did. They wrote code that people didn't like, and it was open source, so people could take their code, update their code, do anything with it. And as we now see, even though they face prosecution, their code still exists and works, and other people have taken their code, and it's still living.
Right. And it takes a lot of balls to write this software and put it out to the world knowing that you could be targeted by the state. And in fact, they were. But I know that you played a major role in building the RoninDojo user interface. And this helped to make the tool more usable to everyday people. If it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have been able to onboard to RoninDojo as being a non-technical person. It was definitely a game changer in many, many ways. Where does RoninDojo stand as a project today? Where is it at today? What does the future look like, do you think?
Yeah, so for people that do think that RoninDojo is inactive and gone, no, we are not gone. There have been, let's say, some setbacks for the whole team, and it wasn't just that the Samourai got arrested. It was a couple of things at the same time. It was a lot of personal stuff to several people at our team almost at the same moment. So I won't get into specifics, but yeah, there was some setbacks, but we are still here, still doing some stuff, and we have still plans. So although it might not seem like we're pushing a lot of new things right now, we are still working on new features, and hopefully those new things will soon see the light of day.
Well, Pavel, that's great news. Do you have a time frame of when some more updates might be announced?
Well, not sure about some long stuff that we've been long-term working on, but I can definitely say that I'm finishing Ronin UI update that will bring some changes. One of them is, if you remember, kycp.org.
What is that? Tell me about that.
kycp.org was a website, Know Your Coin Privacy, which was based around OXT, Block Explorer, or analytics tool, and that was by Samourai and OXT team. If you input, it doesn't work anymore, of course. All that has been seized. But how it worked was that if you input your transaction ID It will look up your transaction and show you graph of inputs, outputs, and it will compute the linkability of inputs and outputs and basically show you like statistical analysis of privacy of your transaction.
So for non-technical people, it basically tells you how good your privacy is.
Yes. Sometimes you don't know if you messed up, or you want to take a look at some transactions and see, because otherwise these tools are completely in the hands of private companies like chain analysis companies, and normally these tools normal people don't have. Next update in Ronin UI, you will be able to input your transaction ID and see the privacy of your transaction in Ronin UI.
This has been missing since the Samourai Arrests, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a pretty big deal because I don't think there's any other node package out there that has anything like that. Is that right?
No. I don't think so. And at this time, it's very simple. It's not doing much, but as it was with OXD, I think we can improve that and maybe in the future show more statistics about the transactional privacy.
Right. Exciting. So before we move on, Pavel, is there anything else that you would like to say about RoninDojo? I don't want to push you too hard on that, but is there anything else that might be worth mentioning?
Nothing concrete, but we're still here and we'll see you around.
Okay, so we got an update on RoninDojo. That's fantastic. I can't wait to see the updates. So keep it coming, Pavel. Keep it coming.
Oh, sure.
Changing topics a little bit here. So what are the risks from your perspective, somebody that's building these privacy tools? Is this something that worries you personally, or how do you think about that?
I guess it for everyone it depends if they're trying like to stay as anonymous as possible. Me personally, I haven't ever tried to be like super anonymous. Like if people want to, they could look up my full name and they would know how I look like, and I never like one was super secretive about any of that. So, and I guess it depends who do you expect your adversary to be, because if it's some third person, I guess staying anonymous as possible might be a good thing, so you avoid being harassed or swatted in some cases, like that type of thing.
Have you been swatted?
No.
Are you worried about that? Like, I would imagine you've seen what's happened with Samourai, people that you have worked with. How do you protect yourself from that?
I guess it's always in the back of.
Say, I'm building these tools. Fuck you.
Well, that's the thing. It's always in the back of my head, because like in the first few days when guys were arrested, I didn't know if they're gonna knock on my door as well. And of course, before that and especially after that, it's always like in the back of my head, because I don't know if someone, police or whatever, is gonna knock at my door. Yeah, fuck it, because I can't be bogged down by thinking about this all the time, because if they want to come, they will do it, like for any reason. They would just make up a reason if they want to. So I just write open source code that isn't even handling private keys, and the code itself, like, of course, isn't doing anything illegal. So of course that doesn't mean of course the Samourai guys were arrested anyway and indicted. So they of course didn't expect it to come this way as well. There wasn't any cease and desist. There wasn't any give us your information. They just arrested them suddenly.
Yeah, it escalated.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've talked to some other people. They thought maybe the first move might be to remove you from the Apple Store or the Google Store.
Yeah, yeah.
So from the Play Store, that would maybe be the first thing, and then next step might be a cease and desist or something like that. But it went straight to where they're at today, and it's pretty hardcore. I mean, there was a reign of terror during the Biden administration, and unfortunately, that reign of terror continues. But what have human costs for you mentally, emotionally? It does sound like there's mental tax on some level at the back of your mind, or do you not really think about it that much?
Well, I mean, I could, when this all happened, I could have just said, "Oh well, it's over. Fuck it. I will just find some normal job and whatever, and I won't care anymore about this." But no, there's tons of users that still use our software, still use Dojo, RoninDojo, Samourai Wallet, and now Ashigaru. I myself use all of this, and I guess I just couldn't walk away from this. Of course, sometimes, especially when I hear and read all the stuff that's coming out about the Tornado Cash and Samurai cases and what the prosecution says and how they are lying through their teeth, and how the judges don't allow certain defense.
I mean, it feels like it's almost no defense.
It disgusts me, and yeah, sometimes I feel like almost black-pilled, like really dark thoughts, and I'm like, man, like fuck all of this. But then I just sit down and I guess I just want to continue because I don't want to stop and I don't want to abandon all of this, especially older people.
So who are you building for, would you say? Like, what's your mission in life as it relates to Bitcoin privacy?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I guess let's just try to make a difference. I mean, do even the smallest thing can sometimes still make a difference. So for me, that's like still pushing updates and knowing that people will appreciate some new features and will use them, and it will help them in doing transactions more private, and or talking about the case with Samurai and bringing more attention to this and more people talking about this issue about government going after people for writing software. So I guess just trying at least the small things, because I know I won't make a big difference. I won't make anything huge, but I hope at least to do something small that will help somebody.
Just the fact that there's so few people working on it, even your small contributions are massive. And I really think that you're an unsung hero. I know you don't see yourself that way.
No, I don't.
I know you don't, but I do think if you care about financial sovereignty, if you really care about Bitcoin and what that means for humanity, it's just huge. So few people see it that way. But what would you say for others who are building privacy tools today? What would you say to them? You've been in the game for a long time. I'm sure you have some wisdom for us that might get a little spooked by what's going on today.
I mean, I guess one lesson from the Samurai case is that don't let your enemy know your plans, because
Yes.
Samurai had great plans for the future, and they were openly describing those plans, and mainly decentralization of Whirlpool. It was meant to be decentralized in such a way that it would be basically unstoppable, because instead of a central coordinator server, there was supposed to be a network, peer-to-peer network of them. So it wouldn't be possible for the FBI or anyone to take down the whole Whirlpool at once, like they did. And that's why I think that they have to move really quickly and why it all happened so suddenly, because we were just maybe months away from achieving that. And so they did have to move very quickly. And looking back at that, I think like announcing your plans, like it is what allowed FBI and prosecutors to move so quickly and suddenly. Because they knew if they didn't take Samourai down right away, then they would have no chance later to take Whirlpool down.
Yeah, clearly they were on the FBI's radar at that time, and that was coming out, and they probably had the tornado cache, so they had the tornado cache fresh in their minds and what that case was about.
There was several things. There was the Bitcoin tornado cache. Then there was the Bitcoin fog, which was mixer, but that was also a case where the judge didn't allow defense to, argue. To
question the analytics.
Yeah. They, of course, for prosecution, they gave some testimonies and so on, but they are using a black box software that nobody knows how it works because it's closed source. And our guys were trying to help the defense with open source tools and open source analytics, and the judge didn't allow it.
It is one of the big lessons that code is speech. I don't think they believe that anymore. I think that's very much in question.
I think that they never believed it. Not really.
And so this is the risk. You can be a developer developing privacy tools, and you can think that you're well within the lines of FinCEN guidance and what's legal. It's just shocking. But let me ask you, so how do you define the movement that you're a part of? I call it the Bitcoin privacy movement, for lack of a better word, but how do you define it?
Of course, it's about sovereignty, because Bitcoin itself, if you use it non-custodially, it's about sovereignty. It's about having your own keys and using like freedom money. Like the privacy movement, to be honest with you, I don't know if there's any movement. I think what is missing is right now, since Samourai is gone, I don't see any like clear direction to improve privacy on Bitcoin. Like a lot of people have moved to Monero, and a lot of people has just gave up. Of course, we have right now, there's Ashigaru, which is a fork of Samourai Wallet. And I think that project is like really great because it apparently continues the work of Samourai.
So take a step back. So tell us a little bit about Ashigaru. It's a fork of Samourai Wallet. It's been released, I think it was, 10 months ago or so. What is Ashigaru and what's special about it, and why should we care?
We should care like from some point of view, because Ashigaru perfectly shows us that the open source software just simply cannot be stopped just because you arrest some people. Ashigaru is fork of Samourai Wallet, which means the original code of Samourai is still there, and people behind Ashigaru seem like they want to take it further and build on top of what Samourai had built. And especially now, it's been couple of weeks since they released Whirlpool, like relaunched their version of Whirlpool, which in my opinion is great because it also shows that Whirlpool just simply cannot be taken down and anyone can just run it again.
I mean, just to stop there. So Whirlpool, this is one of the most defiant acts for sovereignty on Bitcoin that I've ever seen. I think in light of, I put it up there with the original crypto wars, the cypherpunks, and maybe pretty good privacy and what they did to get that out into the world. Whirlpool is massive. The risk to put that out in the world, it's right up there. I don't know. I don't want to get too carried away on this, but it's right up. It's right up there with Satoshi, in my mind. Obviously, not that high up the list, but it's so radical that they would put Whirlpool out into the world after everything with the arrests. I mean, they're putting themselves at real risk. But tell us about that. What is the significance of Whirlpool, and what do you think of this as kind of just an act of defiance?
Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say exactly. It's an open act of defiance against like the whole thing. Like you tried, it's basically they're saying like you tried to take this away from us. That just won't work. We will just start it again, and we will continue because we want privacy. We are not criminals. We just want privacy, and we will do anything. That's at least partly what I think the message might be. Like you cannot stop this.
Code.
Yes.
We put it out into the world, and it will never disappear. And
yes, exactly.
It's such a massive, radical act. So Whirlpool got released, like a month and a half ago, 6-7 weeks ago? And what is your initial take? Like, how well is it doing? Is it working perfectly? I think I might have saw an article somewhere out there said that there might have been an issue with anonymity or something like that. What do you think? So far, so good?
Just to address the issue, they basically took the original code of Samourai and they made some changes because there were some things in the original implementation of Whirlpool that were criticized. They were, as far as I understand it, they were trying to address these issues and they made some changes. For some people, they reviewed those changes and are now saying that, okay, you did that, but it's still not good enough because if the coordinator is malicious, it can de-anonymize the users. So that's basically the thing that people criticize.
I wanted to ask you, can you say that, can you recommend Ashigaru, and to what extent? It's been out in the wild for not quite a year. Whirlpool just got released. Should we just be experimenting with it with small amounts? Can we go all in? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a bit difficult, especially because we don't really know who's behind Ashigaru, and they don't have any like social media, any group. You basically, if you want to communicate with these people, you have to shoot them an email. That's the only communication channel they have. So they can be completely honest, or this could be some, long game. But I don't want to give out recommendations. I want people to take a look at what people do and how they speak, and compare between those two if their actions like correlate with their talk. And that means if the project is honest or seems honest, I think it might be safe to use.
Mm-hmm. What are you looking for? What to see from them, whether this is a project that we can trust?
Well, especially since they are not really that much public, they have to be more transparent about the issues that might exist in the software. So it looks like when they released their Whirlpool implementation and fixed or made changes that were supposed to fix some issues, it looks like they were really honest about how and why they were making these changes and what they were trying to fix. So I think that we can see the honesty there. And also if you read their blog posts, I don't think they're trying to be secretive about like why they make certain changes. I think they're trying to be transparent, and I see that as a good thing to establish trust.
So back on the Whirlpool, so it just got released. Is it successful in your mind? Are you still just kind of waiting to see how this goes over the next few months?
Right. I mean, success, the fact that it is running and people are mixing or doing conjoins with Whirlpool, I already see that as a success. So I think that's great. And but there is still a lot of space where to go with Whirlpool. Right now, I'm personally not a big fan of the Ashigaru terminal. Like
what is that for those who don't know? What is the Ashigaru terminal?
For those that don't know, Ashigaru terminal is a desktop application. It's a fork of Sparrow CLI or Sparrow terminal for desktop, and that allows you to use Ashigaru Whirlpool. But that basically means you have to run it on your desktop. There is currently no mixing in Ashigaru Wallet itself. So you cannot initiate mixing or mix from the Ashigaru like it was in Samourai. And there's also not an updated version of Whirlpool CLI, which is the binary that we use, that we implemented inside Dojo and RoninDojo, so that people could get remixes all the time without having the application open on their phone or their PC.
Got it. Okay, so is there any parting thoughts, anything behind the scenes that maybe deserves a little more attention?
I guess latest update of Samourai Dojo, I think that's been released like a month or almost two months ago. Didn't get much attention, but it will get more attention once this update is also brought to RoninDojo, which hopefully will be soon. Most interesting thing about this update is that it includes Soroban, which is a peer-to-peer communication network, and Soroban will allow people and their dojo nodes to communicate peer-to-peer. When you send a transaction from your Ashigaru or Samourai Wallet through your Samourai Dojo with Soroban enabled, it will not be sent directly to the Bitcoin network, but it will be sent to some random node on the Soroban network, and that one will push it to Bitcoin network. So which basically means it further obfuscates the origin of the transaction.
Okay. Good. More privacy. Give me more privacy.
Yes, more privacy.
That's all I want to hear, man. Give me more privacy. More privacy. This is good. Things are moving forward. I mean, it's pretty bleak right now, I think, but there are things rising from the ashes here quietly but surely, and definitely hope to try to just get the word out, man, But let's wrap it up. How can people support Samourai Wallet? Where should they go for that?
Yeah, if people want to support Samourai Wallet, go to p2prights.org, and then there you can donate either with fiat or with Bitcoin to the defense of our Samourai Wallet guys. If you want to learn more about the case, great source on Twitter would be Frank Korva from Bitcoin Magazine, who is following the case very closely. Definitely give follow to Econo Alchemist on Twitter. Give a follow to Max Tannehill and Diverter and the rest of the guys in the Samurai community. But these three are giving away accurate information always.
They're fantastic. Yeah. Those are the people that I follow and try to learn from. Pavel, thank you. I can't wait for the updates for RoninDojo. Can't wait for them to come public again. Take care.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, that was Pavel. Honestly, I'm still processing a lot of what he just said. But before we wrap this up, I want to take a moment to reflect on what it means to keep building these privacy tools when the costs are so extremely high right now. When the Samourai Wallet devs got arrested, Pavel talked about how for several days after that arrest, he said, I didn't know if the authorities were going to knock on my door next. That is what it's like to be a privacy builder right now. They're risking their freedom to protect everyone's freedom. He keeps building Dojo, the engine for Samourai Wallet, and now for Ashigaru. He keeps updating RoninDojo. The reason we keep talking about these projects, Samourai Wallet, RoninDojo, and now Ashigaru, is very simple. It's because for years, this ecosystem almost single-handedly has been the only real path to full financial sovereignty on Bitcoin. No middleman, no KYC, no compromises. We want privacy, We will continue. You can't stop this. That's not a quote. That's a stance. If you've never looked at RoninDojo, now's the time to learn about it. Take a look at it. While the project's not selling any hardware nodes at the moment, the project is still alive. Updates are coming and the tools continue to function. It's just a fantastic project to follow. And if you want to try something today, check out Ashigaru, a fork of Samourai Wallet that recently relaunched Whirlpool, the gold standard of Bitcoin privacy. So start reading, follow the updates, because when the time comes to take a step, whatever that might be for you, you'll be ready. The people building this tech aren't waiting for permission, and neither should we. The code still lives, and so does the mission. If this conversation resonated with you, share it. Talk about it, because in the world where privacy is being criminalized, silence helps no one. As Pavel mentioned at the end, the developers behind Samourai Wallet are facing real legal threats for nothing more than writing code that protects privacy. If you want to support them, head over to p2prights.org. You can donate with Bitcoin or fiat to the Legal Defense Fund. And to stay informed about this case and the broader fight for privacy, and Bitcoin privacy in particular, as Pavel recommended, follow Frank Korva of Bitcoin Magazine, Econo Alchemist, Diverter, and Max Tannehill. These are the people keeping the signal alive. Until next time, stay sovereign, stay curious, and stay unbounded.